Yo, family, what is good? Welcome back again to another daily live stream where, as the title suggests, are we at the bottom? Is it now the time to buy? Are we in for a huge rally from here? In my personal opinion, not financial advice, of course, the answer is unfortunately still no. But our time to buy is quickly approaching. We can currently see Bitcoin is up 4.8% on the daily time frame, valued at $68,000, almost $69,000. ETH managed to surpass 2K again. XRP just short of $1.40. Solana above the $85 price entry zone again. Great for Solana there. Caspa managed to regain 0.03 or 3 cents right now, which is really reassuring news, currently up 2.82%, and multiple other assets across the board are showing a lot of volatility. But why? Of course, the question is why? What is happening right now in the world, considering we still got a war ongoing, and unfortunately, as we're about to hear right here and now, a report has come in where Trump apparently has told CNN that the big wave is yet to come. Listen very closely here.
And President Trump, I'm just hearing in my ear, just told my colleague Jake Tapper that the big wave is yet to come. So clearly things are going to be escalating, not de-escalating in the future.
Well, I think
with this knowledge that things are going to be escalating before they de-escalate in the future, it is logical for us to make the assumption, to predict, that we're going to see further headwinds in the market in the immediate short term. With that being said, the markets are bullish right now. So what's happened? We'll get through all of that in this stream, some other big updates as well, some huge developments, and of course why I believe that Casper is in a very, very strong spot right here now, as well as other projects as well. Me and my VIPs, we recently held our roundtable today at 3 p.m. UK time, so about 4 hours ago, and in it we didn't just go through all of the news about to go through in this stream, and of course the other institutional sources. We also went through some trades that we're going to be taking, as well as a new asset that's going to be entering my portfolio, which is going to be part of the AI play as well, as an ecosystem play as well. So if you want to find that out, you can check out the VIP, links down below in the description. Join in right now, get a 7-day free trial, and you can find out everything else in there and much more. Of course, if you want to find out anything else about it, reach out to me on Discord. I'll reply ASAP. Now, what happened? Well, we go with Bitcoin right here and now. We go to the 15-minute time, or even the 5-minute time frame I can go to, and go much closer in right now. And then I bring back the text here. This is the reason why we saw such a strong pump with Bitcoin. On the 15-minute time frame right now, we can see Bitcoin started to rally in and around the bottom of this support zone here, around the 65,200 zone here. Made a reversal, started to rally about half an hour before the major report was published, which just basically means that those who were in the know, the insiders, they kind of knew the report half an hour before it was published, which is understandable. But the ISM report was published. And as you can see, the ISM report is still looking extremely strong right now. As I bring it back up here. That's currently, it's actually not been revised just yet. It's not showcasing the most recent ISM report, but if you look at Forex Factory right now and we scroll down, as I posted to my VIPs earlier, last month it was 52.6. It was expected to come down to 51.7. It did come down, but only by 0.2. It surpassed expectations in a big, big, big way. Now, why is that important? Well, those who are not understanding the importance of the ISM is an indicator used to track the business cycle. Now, this doesn't guarantee that Raoul Powell and Arthur Hayes' predictions of is the business cycle stupid, extended business, it's not guaranteeing that just yet. But for the last 3 odd years, give or take, we have seen the ISM be below 50, which means that the US economy is contracting, it's getting smaller. We've had momentary wicks, one on March 2024, one in January, and in February 2025. But by and large, we will stay below 50 for about 3 years. And then last month, we saw a huge print where for the first time, we saw a blow above 50 and a strong report at that, going from 47.8 up to 52. Insane print, and also the highest we have seen since August, July 2022. So for the past 3.5 years, therefore. That in itself tells us the economy in the United States is starting to expand, which is very, 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 very big news. The concern, though, was that the reason why we saw such a massive print is because SMBs, small, medium businesses, and even big businesses, they were buying up a crap ton of their stock, of their goods, ahead of Trump potentially implementing more tariffs and taxes on their imports. So they're buying a lot at the beginning of the year to front run that. This report here, we'll see how next month's report comes out, because that'll give us proper confirmation thereof. But this report here seems to confirm that the leading analysts of the world and economists were incorrect in that judgment. As while it did come down, it was minimal, and it surpassed expectations by 0.7 points, which is huge. So the economy is still expanding. This is very, very big news, because every time the economy's expanded, the crypto markets boomed as well. Here we can see March 2021, that was when Bitcoin made its first peak. Before then, double top, where it came down, double top in November time. But that's when Bitcoin made its first peak. Then going back to the last cycle, in and around December time, we look here at Bitcoin. Last cycle, we saw a top for Bitcoin here in around December 2017. That's here. So around this time here, we saw Bitcoin make a peak. That's why you had the likes of Raoul Pal, Arthur Hayes, and those individuals talk about how the 4-year cycle theory isn't actually true. It was what was believed, but actually is the business cycle stupid. That's what they kept saying. I'm not guaranteeing, or I'm not saying that is the actual case in this matter. But I cannot ignore the significance of this news, this macro report, how big it is, and ultimately how this report is what's caused the market to pump in the way that it has done. Because nothing's changed by and large. We are still in a war, and we just heard there's going to be an escalation soon. If this war continues ongoing, if there's more escalations, you'll see more headwinds, more pricing of the market, more affecting of crypto, and more pullbacks. But this week's going to be a big week. What I mentioned to my VIPs is going to be a very big week. You've got a lot of very huge macro reports. ISM manufacturing came out just today, very big print. You've got services ISM PMI coming out on Wednesday. Then you've got unemployment claims on Thursday and the non-farm payroll job report on the Friday. All these reports can, if they come back bullish in regards to investor sentiment, you could see the markets alleviate any potential headwinds. Bitcoin could very well hold 65k. The possibility Bitcoin could hold 65k, which has been where Bitcoin's been trending for the past, month or so? Yeah, for the last month, Bitcoin's been trending between 65 to 70k. And if it continues in this fashion, then Bitcoin will continue doing that as well, which is really, really bullish. So these reports could help give us some relief, and also makes trading a lot easier as well. We had a lot of trades put in by our traders earlier today, Chart Flows and Lambo, which were actually all short trades off the back of this pump. This pump came in, and because we managed to get rejected perfectly at 70k, we can see here, the market just surprised everybody in the last 2 hours. 1 trillion was wiped out of gold and silver, and nearly 800 billion was added to crypto and US stock market. Of course, mainly in stocks. Nasdaq up 610 billion, S&P 500 80 billion, Russell up 53 billion, Bitcoin up 80 billion. You saw a massive pump in these, while safe havens saw a massive shock. Bitcoin revised above 70k for the first time since February 15th. And even you got this statement here from Matt Hogan saying that it feels like the sentiment in crypto has shifted, and that is true. The sentiment in crypto has shifted, and that is because a big part of it being because of this. Because this here, ISM manufacturing, is known as a forward-looking indicator. If the ISM comes back printing above 50 and continues going up, that indicates to investors that the US economy is expanding, and therefore you'll start seeing more investments into markets, into particularly risk-on markets, into crypto markets. How long it's going to take to come in is the ultimate question. You probably see it along with the regulatory frameworks that should hopefully be coming out later on this year. I know you've got some revisions happening with the Genius Act in summer this year, and equally MiCA this year, same time. And then we have to wait for the Clarity Act still. We're not sure what's happening with the market structure bill right now. We've got some updates on that front, though. We'll get to that in the stream. But with that being known, we know that if the ISM continues to expand, then the theory of Raoul Pal and Arthur Hayes saying it's the business cycle stupid is actually a realistic one. We have seen a big pullback in Bitcoin, true. So you could argue, therefore, that we are experiencing the start of the bear market. We've come down 50%. But the reason why I've still been very hesitant on calling it a bear market we're in right now, which may be naive of me. But it's only because we have seen in the past cycle here, people said the very same thing here. When the ISM peaked, came down 54%, and then we saw a double top. And it's happened multiple times where people called this out. We're currently going through a 50% correction. By and large, we are looking almost at down the barrel of a bear market. But the ISM is expanding still. We only just ended QT in December. The stars are only now starting to align for liquidity to stop being taken out of the economy and start being put back in. So if that is the case and that's how it's going to play out, then we could end up seeing potentially a similar sort of scenario here, where you see Bitcoin find a bottom maybe in and around this zone here, and then start and push back up. But that is very much dependent on the overall sentiment with geopolitics. If this war continues to escalate and gets a lot worse, then you might just see the markets fail to hold up. But Bitcoin's holding strong right now. Bitcoin's holding very, very strong right now, which is a reassuring development for us. And we're only hoping continues with the other reports coming out on Wednesday, as to reiterate the services. We'll see that surpassed expectations. Unemployment claims on Thursday, and then non-farm payroll job report coming out on the Friday. That's going to be very, very big. If you want to know how we should judge that and how we should track the market, therefore, you can learn all about that in the VIP once more. But there's a good possibility, therefore, we see Bitcoin continue to trade and chart between 70k to 65k. And if that's the case, then best believe the VIPs, the traders, are going to be making the most of that. We do have one short trade put on from Lambo, that was from Virtuals here, which you can see I drew it out once more on my trading view just so I can get a visual perspective of it. And already it's doing okay. We'll see if it comes back down more. So another short setup. We have some other setups which came in from chart flows for Ethereum and Solana, I believe, as well, which I believe they did fill up. If I quickly double check. I didn't have the chance to get into these actually because these posted at a time where I was still asleep, unfortunately. But Solana here came in at, posted at 83 entry today. If I go on to the closer time frame. 83.72, so that was around here. And the stop loss was at 84. Yeah, so I think that one did also fill in actually. So that's also good to see as well. So yes, the trades are being made right now. It's good to see that we are continuing to make gains in this community, in this market, despite the volatility. So once more, if you want to find out more, check out the VIP, check out the free trials, get involved, and level up your game right now. Now we'll get into some more of the post and cover the other big news, further supporting the sentiment shifting. Before we do though, welcome back to the stream once more, family. LB on the check-in, my man. Welcome back. You too as well, Falco. Haven't been forced out of military retirement. We're good. That's great to hear. It's great to hear. Hopefully it remains that way. There is, of course, concerns with the escalation that still seems to be incoming. And I think it's still going to get worse before it has a chance of getting better. This week's going to be an important one to judge that. The belief right now, we heard Trump say that it's going to potentially go on for 10, I think it was 4 weeks or 10 weeks, whatever he said. He is anticipating quite a long drawn out war, which is not ideal because for his midterm election, he doesn't want a long war. He wants it done quickly in his best case scenario. The longest war draws out for, the more it's going to impact the market, the better entries are going to be given for us. Very inhumane thing to say, thinking about our gains while people are currently in the firing line. So I apologize if I sound insensitive. I don't mean to be. Of course, those who are in the affected regions, be it Dubai, be it in Iran, be it in Cyprus and other airports that have been targeted, of course, please remain safe out there. But on the insensitive side of things, it is up to us to continue capitalizing on the opportunity ahead of us, which is to utilize these opportunities, these corrections, these pumps coming from macro reports, coming from war headlines, to start trading or start making the most of it and DCAing at the prices that we think are right for us. I still very much believe Casper can make a correction down to the zone here if the stars align. Right now we're holding very strong at 2.9. It's definitely proven as a very strong support level for Casper, and hopefully it remains that way. Buying at the level right now would not be a bad shout in my belief. I'm DCAing continuously, so for me, the price of Casper is not too relevant, if I'm being honest, because I continue to DCA it. But I do see Casper coming back down to lower levels like here, like it did previously. And if the war escalates more so, or God forbid we end up missing some of these key macro reports, then you end up seeing big correction in Bitcoin, big correction in Casper. That'll be a time for us to scoop up those cheap buys. It's not just Casper, of course, there are many other assets that also have great entry zones coming up for them. We've mentioned about Quant, we've mentioned about AVAX in our previous streams, Omdu, Tau. People asked me in my stream earlier, or my Discord community earlier actually, what are the 2 AI projects I'll be looking into heavily right now? For me, there are a number, but Tau is definitely front and center of that. And Render also for me is just also a very, very strong play, given the importance of the importance and necessity for GPUs and RAM and its hardware to be able to function and run and build AI agents and LLMs. But there's not enough hardware out there. It's also extremely expensive and getting more expensive due to the rising demand of AI. That is impossible to fulfill. Nvidia had a great earnings report last Wednesday, and even now, the sentiment's already gone. People are already like, oh, it's not strong enough. It was a great report. If I go back to what the report was, the report for Nvidia was at 1.8. The ESP was at 1.58 versus 1.53 expected, so a big win there. And the revenue was at 67.4 billion versus the 66.2 expected. So a massive beat in expectations there. Best case scenario, yet we saw a relief on the Wednesday and that was it. Nothing more. You cannot fill the demand for AI. That's why I think, and Nvidia being the one to run the chips, that's why I think Render's got a good chance for it being the Airbnb GPU you can rent idle GPU power. So I think Render's going to have a key market in that element when that sentiment shifts. But there are also other assets that I think could do well. I mentioned in my roundtable earlier a new play, an ecosystem play that's going to help hopefully do well for AI agents, which you can find out more so in the VIP. I'm going to make a breakdown in the playbook later on this week as well, so you can hear it, but you can listen to the roundtable and hear it for yourself. But it all based on these reports like this, for example. In this post here from Exo Mario Northall, 1,100 AI agents are running loose in an on-chain agentic market. In 48 hours, they made 485 inference requests, 378 market observations, 102,000 trades, and if this was on Ethereum for real, that would $165 million in volume in just 2 days. That's ridiculous. That's insane. And that's still early doors, just a testing environment. That's the real example of an agentic economy. And also there's another post here as well. Someone told Clawbot to build a 6-agent poly-market trading system while they slept. 6 hours, not a single question asked, and here's how it worked. Monitoring agent running 24/7, spots mispriced markets, writes and memory, pings Telegram instantly, research agents praising news, X, and macro data every morning before you check your phone, trading agent reading the research memory and acting before the market catches up, all of it running on one gateway, one config file, isolated per agent. The final week results was 47 mispriced markets caught by polymarket adjustment, 8 to 12 cents average entry edge per position. Token cost dropped 3x from 40 cents to 13 cents per request. The whole system is plain, so on and so forth. Point being is, in the future to be, you're going to likely see AI agents used in many, many capacities, not just to your ChatGPTs and your clouds and your Geminis and your Groks. You're going to see AI agents used not just even to build your tokens, to be able to use AI agents to get ahead of the market trends, even more so when they catch mispriced data, which is very, very significant. That's why AI is so big. That's why I think any ecosystem that is going to be ideal for AI agents is going to be one that's going to do very, very well when the recovery comes in. And that's why, once more, I still remain bullish on Casper. Casper's not in that conversation just yet, albeit that may change soon. Because I made a post just yesterday talking about how the last 2 properties in Providence, you see it right here, these 2 properties here, the lightweight, and also they can be entered atomically. These 2 properties here, they have a significant potential in the agentic era with AI agents. We've heard it from Pavel, we've heard it from Michael Sutton, we've heard it from many others about the importance of agentic AI, why it's so big, why it's actually being slept on or not being put in as much significance as it really should be. And Casper with Covenants is going to become one of the strongest chains in my belief, or strongest protocols in my belief, that will be great for AI. Because you've got to remember, AI agents, they're not going to be focusing on their favorite chain, be it Base, be it Uniswap, be it Ethereum, be it Solana. They're not going to fit, not because there's no human sentiment in it. They focus on what is going to be the best for them to complete their task. And if Casper comes out to be the fastest, the cheapest, the most scalable, the way able to do stuff in parallel, it's just going to be the hub for AI going forward. There's a possibility as such. These hard forks that these developments like Covenant are coming out should be taking 2 months. If we do stick true to the timeline that was proposed to us by Mark Sutton and Tom Polinsky, we're looking at May 5th. We're currently on March 2nd. A little over 2 months from now, we can see a hard fork and game-changing updates coming to Casper, making it a potential hub for the AI revolution that's going to be coming out very shortly. There's still a lot of concerns around AI. With Bank, we went through a report earlier from the ABA in our executive roundtable, and we posted it as well, where the report divulged some key information. For example, how there's a big risk with AI when it comes to the potential threat it offers, or the threat it can pose when it comes to using AI for fraud elements. Because while AI is growing more and more, making their system stronger, it also makes fraud elements even stronger as well. But they still see the AI potential as impossible to account for and measure for. They want to continue improving their AI capabilities. So AI is still going to do fantastically well. That's why currently right now my focus is very heavily surrounding AI projects, or projects that have the ability to tap into the AI era. That's why that's another reason why I say bullish on Casper. I know we had a back and forth yesterday with other viewers who are talking about being bullish on Casper because the KRI doesn't post anything is ridiculous and just stupid. And I'm saying, for one, that's not exactly the case. I don't think that's correct at all in that assessment. But also, that's not the reason I'm bullish on Casper. It's one of many reasons, but that's one of them. But the other reason why is also its capability to be used in the AI era that is going to be quickly coming through to us. You know, it's undervalued as anything. Can it go lower? Yes, and I hope it does, so I can get in lower. Because when the recovery comes in, it's going to be a shocking one, in my belief. Welcome back, Nessie. Let's go all in. No half-step, no hesitation. Love to hear, my man. And welcome back, HXC Vox. Give you a like. Working, I'll be back. I appreciate you very, very much for tuning in and leaving a comment. And yes, if you enjoy the content, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. Welcome back, Magnus. Haven't been here for ages, still holding strong. Love to hear, my man. Keep stacking, keep holding. Our time will come. I think we still got some headwinds. But today's macro data for me was a very, very bullish sign, just for the two reasons being that A, it shows the economy in the United States and therefore kind of the globe is still expanding, which is fantastic. And therefore means that later on down the line, should be great for risk on markets, great for crypto. The business cycle should extend, and then we start seeing that massive pump that we've been waiting for. But also, whilst Bitcoin's still trading between 70k to 65k, it gives us, and it got to 70k because of this news, it means that we can actually short, potentially short from that top. Because the news has not changed. We're still very much in a war that dominates the market. So we're likely going to see a pullback. And we're seeing it right now. Bitcoin went to 70k. We go to the smaller time frame again, 15 minutes. We can see 70k as of 4:45 UK time. So that is about 3 hours from now. And in 3 hours, Bitcoin's gone from this peak here down about 2%. Unsurprisingly, of course. And it's going to probably, I imagine, given its trajectory where we've seen it before, this is definitely a support zone for Bitcoin in the middle zones. I would not be surprised to see Bitcoin end today's trading day probably around this zone here, coming back a little bit further. And then depending on tomorrow's news, if we get an escalation in the Middle East overnight, we'll probably see Bitcoin come down further. And then I'll have to wait and see how the other macro reports unfold. But with the macro reports giving us a bit of relief, we can then use that to give us easier entries, be it for trading, be it for other means as well. So that's why today was such a big day for us and why I'm optimistic about that. And the longevity, the long-term side of things, it looks fantastic as well, which is why equally I'm very happy about it. Very, very happy about it. Welcome back, Double Dimmer Man. Hello, Jay. Me. I wait Bitcoin and gold top in 2 to 3 days. Stop RSI, patience plus a chum fit. Do a new trick. Maybe go to 50k, 252k Bitcoin, maybe. Maybe in May, June for me. I keep filling my bags, but I wait. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's tough to determine right now. I'm not against the possibility that Bitcoin goes down to 50, 52k. We spoke about that yesterday. You saw my zones. I've been talking about it repeatedly. This is my zone here, 53k to about 51k. That's a zone for me. I think it's possible that Bitcoin could be traced to that. It does depend on the sentiment of the war and macro data. We are currently in March, starting March. We're about to end the first quarter of the year. It's been a rough first quarter to the year. It's been a rough 6 months. This is the start of the 6-month pullback, effectively. And even then, the beginning of the year, January started here. So went up a little bit, 10%, and then we come back down again. Been a rough start to the year, unsurprisingly. And that's because of the constant tariff headlines, because of the institutions selling off their ETFs and their crypto because sentiment right now is not in risk on at all. Going into gold and silver because that's been the safe haven trend right now because of all the uncertainty surrounding Trump, surrounding geopolitics. It's been the key driver right now for the markets. Once that sentiment dissipates, once you get regulators coming through, that sentiment will shift. Now, when that will happen is the question. You will see some regulations either being revised or spoken upon or enforced in the summer this year, around June, July time. That could be potential bottom zone for Bitcoin and crypto. Would that be around 50k, 52k? It does depend on the war. And, the midterms as well, and the Fed. Around May time, Jerome Powell leaves and the new Fed chair comes in. Currently still, I think it's meant to be Kevin Hessen. No, don't be Kevin. I mean Warsh, not Hessen. Warsh. And that new Fed chair will likely also bring a fresh pair of sentiment and eyes and just overall belief around the US economy and how the market's going to react. And then we'll have to see how he performs, because ultimately, while a new Fed chair coming in, people are kind of sick of Jerome Powell. New Fed chair comes in, if he doesn't start cutting rates immediately, or gives a statement that's going to be reassuring that he's going to start cutting rates immediately, people are going to just start dooming again, because the markets go down again. But yeah, I think 52k, 50k Bitcoin is definitely a possibility. We'll see how the months unfold. We're going to be patient right now. The time to buy, you could argue, is now. I am currently holding Casper and stables, and I am currently patiently waiting for entries. In Tau, you can see yellow box here is my entries, one of them. Ondu has entry zones around here as well. Quant, you got Render. Anything below $1 for me is fantastic for Render if you can reach that. You've got other assets on the list as well that I'm looking into. Solana, I've mentioned anything sub 85 is fantastic. If I'm going to be greedy for Solana, I want to see if we can get back down to the below 70k again, $70 again, around the zone here. But anything sub 85, Solana is fantastic, given the fact that when the markets recover and Solana being the big asset it is, 85 is, 3x. Now, it's not the euphoric numbers we always expect with crypto, your 10, 15x's, which are still possible, but you can't compare with a 3x. It's gains, and dare I say Solana is one that's going to make guaranteed gains due to its market cap, its size, its chokehold, if you will, on the entire crypto ecosystem. It's one of the biggest leading ecosystems in the space. You've got Ethereum, Solana currently leading that. It's going to change. I believe it's going to change in the coming months, but those two are currently leading it, and therefore they're going to front run it. And they've got ETFs as well, meaning the institutions are going to front run them as well. But our time will come, most definitely. Welcome back, Wing Hong, my man. We moon yet? Not yet, but we're doing well today. I think it's a bit of a fake out, if I'm honest. But we'll see how tomorrow pans out. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But right now, with Bitcoin getting rejected quite comfortably at 70k, which was to be expected, and there's nothing really happening tomorrow, based on the sentiment that I can see here. There's nothing key in terms of macro coming out tomorrow, apart from, William speaking. It's nothing too serious here. So the market will be quite quiet tomorrow, unless we get a more development with the war. I expect you to see either a nothing market tomorrow and just kind of boring, or you'll see a bit of a continued pullback. And then from there, we'll have to see what happens. And then come Wednesday, you'll be looking at the ISM services. And that will therefore, if we surpass expectations again, then you'll likely see a good recovery in the market. If we miss, you'll see a bigger pullback, and then that means that the short trade we got set up will likely fill in completely, and we're not complaining about that at all. And all eyes will then be on Friday's job report. The job report on Friday is going to be really, really big. Damn, Ston Tomo with a 90. Holy. That's like, what, the third time I think you've done that, brother? Oh my days. I lose my train of thought every single time you do that. Absolutely insane stuff. You're an absolute legend. No message at all, just a love heart. I appreciate you for the $99.99 donation, a $100 donation. You're an absolute legend, my man. I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoy the content and continue supporting the channel. I don't know what to say now. I feel like I need to do something. I mean, yeah, that's. What do I say to that? What do I do to that? I'm just thank you. I guess thank you so much, my man. Thank you so much. Let's hope that the markets take that gratitude to heart and start pumping off the back of that as well, or something. I don't know. But yeah, I appreciate you so much. What was I even saying? Something regarding market sentiment, and we can get into this actually. This is a nice way to segue as well, in a sense. So once more, thank you for the donation, my man. And one of the things we keep speaking about time and time again, which is what we're waiting for catalyst wise for crypto, is going to be regulatory frameworks. That is what's going to determine when the markets are going to pump. We saw this posted from Ellen Tevitt, which talked about the big market structure bill, the Clarity Act, that was meant to be passed through the White House through this current negotiation stage, sent to the Senate by the first of this month, by the 1st of March, and it's not gone so yet, which is not ideal, of course. Now, both banks and crypto firms are saying that negotiations right now, they're complex, but they are still progressing meaningfully, which is good to hear. But they did miss the 1st of March deadline, which is not ideal. So right now, the overarching sentiment is we've got another full month in March of just negotiations until it gets pushed to the Senate. And at that point, you're looking towards the start of midterms. You may not see it progress as smoothly, as quickly. And when it goes to the Senate, there's no guarantee it's going to pass through the Senate right now. It's just basically it's a discussion right now between crypto firms and banks on where the stablecoin yield should go towards. Should it be banks controlling all of it, as they've always done? Or will it be crypto firms also, and therefore retail us be able to make yields ourselves, which I think is the case. That should be the case. But that in itself is really, really important to note. And we'll see what happens from there. Once it goes to the Senate, hopefully it'll pass through. And once we get the passing of the Clarity Act, that for me will likely be a big catalyst for institutions to start pushing their sideline capital into the market, sending Bitcoin and other assets with ETF filings up a lot higher. That liquidity will start circling into the other coins we're holding into. Capital will likely start rallying off the back of that as well. But we need to wait for that. And it's not surprised remotely, actually, that this discussion did not reach the deadline. That for me was inevitable. I think I mentioned that when it was first happening. I said I don't see it passing, but we can hope. The OCC apparently also may have strengthened the bank's position by signaling that last week's proposed rulemaking on the Genius Act stablecoin reward could face tighter limits than crypto industry had anticipated. So the Genius bill is meant to be kind of going through and getting revised in a sense, or what's the term I spoke about earlier? It was the Genius Act is still needed. Where is it? So I'm just looking at the statute sets the lines for the goalposts. Where was it? Oh yeah, federal regulators must finalize the rules for the Genius Act across more than 10 distinct areas by July 18th, 2026. So there is the possibility that is revisions happening to the Genius Act, and that will cause further headwinds in the market as well. That's not a cause for concern, though. Does that mean that crypto is going to die off? No. It means that you're still seeing a negotiation, back and forth between crypto, fintech, and TradFi, whilst TradFi are trying to get into crypto. Right now, crypto does hold actually more of the power than we think. Don't we need TradFi, don't get me wrong, but TradFi is not right now in the position where they can just create blockchain. They've tried, they can't. Most TradFi companies having to either buy up the crypto tech or partner with them. They can't do it. That's why crypto has a lot more kind of oomph, a lot more leeway than people anticipate. So if we get a revision of the Clarity Act or the Genius Act even, that just basically means you'll see some headwinds, some FUD, see more negotiations to go back and forth, and it means that we get better entries ourselves for that asset we want to get into. So when the bills are passed through and the sentiment is therefore flipped full to bullish and risk on, crypto sorts up higher, we make our gains, and we got in low. We front run institutions. That's ultimately what it is. We had a whole thing yesterday about the statement about saying that we're still early. It's an incorrect statement to make. I don't disagree at all. Until regulations are in play, we are still early, because regulation is going to be the big catalyst that sends crypto much, much higher. I appreciate very, very much Wing Hong for the compliment as always. And welcome back, Brian, as well, my man. You're doing very, very well, my brother. $10 is good, but by 2030, $10 cap by 2030. I mean, that's, it's 9 years from now. It seems quite improbable considering that we're currently at a 3 cents margin. Seeing $10, you're expecting therefore a 300 plus X, if I even try to do the math correctly. Looking at capital right now, by that point, you're looking at more close towards a $285 billion market cap. Now, in the span of 10 years, considering how much capital is going to come into the space, that's not improbable. It's not improbable, but it's still insane. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. Creative things has happened. But in the more immediate term right now, I'm looking also just to regain all-time highs and see where it goes from there. But I'd love to speculate. $10 does sound good. I need to Casper at 100k. Maybe one day, although that's kind of a distant future. Market AI in the future, imagine. Oh yeah, I mean, if AI is definitely the next major play. If you think about the 2021 cycle, what was the key meta for 2021 was NFTs. Then in the 2024 year and kind of early 2025, memes was the big meta. This year, 26 is going to 100% be AI. 100% be AI. There's no doubt about it. So with that, you want to find the assets that are actively going to be partaking in the AI meta, be it an AI project or infrastructure that can onboard AI agents efficiently and seamlessly. For me, Casper is a key area in that. With Confidence coming out, with SilverScript coming out, with Dagnite coming out, with multiple increasing in block per second coming out, all these things are going to be crucial for making Casper a key leading protocol when it comes to the agentic AI era. Right now, it's not a leading one because it's not got the protocols and upgrades in place. But when that comes through in the next few months, it'll start making a name for itself, in my belief, and shocking a lot of people. That's my personal belief, of course, not financial advice. And hopefully around that time as well, you start seeing the progression of the bills as well. We had this post here from Brian Armstrong stating how, and I think this is a very, while I don't trust Coinbase, I do agree with the statement here from Brian Armstrong. You have zero control over where you were born, yet billions of people in the world are shut out of accessing financial tools because of it. Finally, this is changing with crypto. Get access to sound money, loans, stocks, etc. from your phone anywhere in the world is foundational to progress. And I completely agree with that. But of course, your big banks and your world leaders don't want that to happen. They want to continue to regain control. That's the reason why Bitcoin and crypto was originally created, to give power back to the consumer, to us. That's been lost a lot in crypto with proof of stakes coming out and centralized companies coming out. That's what Casper effectively provides as well as the alternative and the solution to that. Welcome back, Crypto Tony Bro. I know you missed yesterday, but it's all good. Yesterday was a very late stream, so I didn't expect too many people to join in. But we had a good turnout actually yesterday, truth be told. But good to see you here again, my brother. Welcome back, Nessie. Do you have statistics on the total number of YouTubers likes per follower? I'm curious about the top 3. You could grant them free access to the VIP Discord server as a reward for their loyalty. Unfortunately, I do not have those stats. That's not a YouTube feature. Although there is probably means in which I could give some temporary, I could do some potential what do you call it, I guess giveaways for some temporary free access to the Discord as well. I know as it stands right now, every member can get 7-day free access to the Discord right now, And equally, if you sign up through BYDFI and follow the steps in our free Discord server, in the Get VIP Access channel right here, you can also get a 1 month free trial. There are free trials available already. But there could be other means. I haven't seen anything else I could do that would be beneficial to potentially get some free trial available, just so those can get an idea of what the VIP provides, and then if they want to sign up full time, they're more than welcome to. Because the information right now, I'll be honest, it's been scarily accurate how well we've been judging the market so far. And it's become very telegraphed as well. The catalyst and what causes headwinds and tailwinds is very telegraphed right now. It's just being able to filter out the noise. That's the hard part, and a lot of investors can't do that. They can't filter out the noise. They just see headline after headline and think it's going to impact the markets, not realizing that what really matters right now is just 2 or 3 things. It's just AI headlines, war headlines, and macro reports. And one of them being the geopolitical side, war is more impactful right now. That's all that matters. But you have to know where to find the reports as well, and all that sort of stuff, which is what we provide in the VIP, of course. A breakdown of all of it. We provide frequent updates in there, be it institutional documentation, spot investments, the trades we're doing in there right now, which have been very profitable because this last month has been fantastic because Bitcoin has just been acting diligently within this zone here. So therefore trading has been very comfortable and easy. We spoke about it with AVAX and with GOAT, which I posted the P&Ls in my community. We saw that rally from NVIDIA on Wednesday. But we didn't think that was going to... I think we thought that was a fake out. We put a post on the VIP on the day. That's a fake out. Don't get fooled by it. And then we saw it come back down. And then we saw AVAX, the trade on that Lambda put out print. We saw a GOAT print. And now we're hoping the same thing's going to happen with virtual today. We've seen an exact same scenario right here. At least I believe we do right now. Of course, we'll have to wait and see if Lambda does pull off or not. Welcome back, White, my man. You're doing very, very well, brother. You need a sound effect for super chats, lol. I think there was one. In fact, no, I don't think. I know there was one, but my dumbass forgot to unmute the desktop audio because I unfortunately preloaded some of my other WhatsApp apps and other messaging apps, and Telegram, which notifications do continuously ping off. And for some reason, clicking down is very difficult on Windows sometimes. Point being is I don't want to hear those. I don't want you lot to hear the pings going through constantly. So I turned off the Discord audio. But if I hadn't done so, you would have heard the super chat sound come through as Duntomer donating that absolute massive, generous donation there. So I thank you once more, brother. You're a legend for that. I mean, that's a fair comment as well, but I don't ask for donations. I do this because I love doing it, and you all watch me because you love watching me, and I appreciate you all for that. If you want to help me out, if you want to find out more, then I appreciate all very much supporting the channel. I, of course, will say the best way to do that is through the VIP. That way you're actually getting more bang for your bucks, as opposed to just giving it out generosity. You can get continuous streams of deep insight information to help you navigate the markets more so. That's the best way. But if you want to just donate that way as well, you're more than happy to. And I'm not going to say otherwise. I appreciate all very much for that. More than you know. But yeah, next time, by all means, go for it, brother. I appreciate you very, very much. Insert don't give me that give me hope meme. Oh yeah. Don't worry, I'll give you all the hope you want, but also the realism. Welcome back, Ghost My Man. You're doing very, very well, brother. Casper is king, no doubt about it, 100%. But yeah, that is the long and short of today's content today, family. It's a little short than the hour, but the content was as big nonetheless. To make a short recap, we saw a massive wipeout of the silvers and the metals and the gold going into the risk on markets because, in my belief, because of the ISM manufacturing report that suggests that the economy in the United States is still expanding. That's a big, big catalyst and a big indicator that later on down the line, in the few months to come, if it stays that way and starts to continuously increase, then Raoul Pal theory and other hate theory of the business cycle expanding and therefore being an extra year is very much accurate, and therefore these markets start to rally in a few months, which is fantastic news. We've got big macro support coming out this week as well, and the sentiment seems to like it is shifting in crypto. Bitcoin is being increasingly perceived more and more like a nuance or nascent risk off asset. It's not there yet, it's still very much risk on, but it's starting to change ever so slightly, which is fantastic news for us. AI is going to be huge. Assets are going to be building for AI. Casper is one of them, one up and coming right now. That's going to tap into AI amongst many other big developers of Casper. I think Casper is going to be huge, going to make a big move this year. My hope and my personal belief. You've got many other assets out there that's going to do fantastic in the AI era. Tau, Render, Virtuals, and some others as well. Also, all looking very strong. Regulators will come soon enough, and when they do, we'll see the market start to make that to price it in a rally. And but we cannot forget about the headline that is still dominating market sentiment right now, which is the war. Whenever the war headlines reach mainstream media, whenever it impacts the market, you're going to see the markets come back. We have apparently got escalation coming through very soon. The big wave is yet to come, so expect further pullbacks. But don't be emotional. Don't panic sell. Be logical. Remain patient. And wait for the dust to settle, and our entry and our time will come. But that being said, family, if you enjoyed today's Casper crypto live stream, then do me a favor, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. If you want to find out more, check out the Discord server, check out the Twitter account, level up your trading with 17% discounts on all trading through the affiliate link to BYDFI, and through that you can get a 1 month free trial to the VIP if you follow the steps in the Discord server, or just a 7-day free trial as well. You can learn a lot more in there as well. As always, best way to support the channel and also learn more while you do it as well. That being said, family, have a great day, good evening, and good night. Tomorrow's show is the Blockchain Banter Show, and the guests are about to be confirmed. You'll see a post going live on Twitter within the hour or so, and when you do, it's going to be a big stream tomorrow. I'm very confident that we'll see a lot more coming out. So yes, take care, family.